that, but I tell you, Tony Rees, far too much power and not enough to the ground to make sure that he'd been able to stay there. And through we go, but yeah, indeed, I think the update for Chopper. Chopper got that advantage, all right. We just nicknamed him as Chopper. A lot of people don't know his nickname from his younger years. 25 years of commentating with this rider, so great to see. And tell you what, getting away to a flying good start out there in the traffic, and I think that's potentially Andrew that we've got up there in the second place. No. So there we go. Just we'll catch up for Ian keeping us more informed there. He was better eyes on that one, Ian.
Yeah, I think that's Andrew back in 8th place actually. It looked like he got a little bump into turn 1 and forced a little wide, and some other guys came through on him, but he'll just dig in. He'll be fine.
A massive save there from Tony Rees into that turn 1. He went up on the inside. The door was shut for him, and I saw his rear tyre probably jump out by about 150 mils. But the skill of this man, who run all 3 of the Formula 1 races at Whanganui this year and took out the Robert Holden Memorial, is just outstanding. 48 years old. There's a couple of 48-year-old out there. Andrew Stroud is of the same age, but certainly on fire. And here we go. Sloane Frost followed very, very closely by Scotty Moyer, Johnny Ross, and then we've got a Honda going through there. Al Hugenboos, another Honda. Tony Rees, Jake Lewis is the first. Well, no, he's on a superbike, sorry. He was on a super stock at Ruapuna, but Andrew Stroud, a 7th spot. James Smith back out there on the Honda, the 77 and 8. Toby Summers, the first of the super stocks, followed by Dylan Telford, Dan Olsey, James Hugenboos, Ray Clear and Aaron Scott.
Racing brought to you by Timaru Metal Recyclers. Wouldn't have it any other way. The greatest sponsor of road racing here in South Canterbury, and a fantastic man over many good years of New Zealand road racing. Welcome to Johnny Hepburn. So thank you, Johnny. Timaru Metal Recyclers. Cash for scrap. The only way to go. I did my cash in just a couple of weeks ago, and man, the money you can now get for scrap metal is fantastic. So make sure you're doing it. Save everything. All your aluminium, all your old nuts and bolts can be going back to Ian Templeton and some expert comments here today.
Yeah, I just saw a pass into the tightening radius from 2nd to 1st, so that's Sloane Frost back in 2nd, and that's Scotty Moyer come through to 1st. Now, Scotty had a win here last year, so let's see if he can put his head down and put a bit of a break on the field.
Great to watch. Here he goes. It's the Scotty Moyer show. Yes, he goes. The man on the Penny Holmes superbike from Taupo, courtesy of Promoto. So nice work for Scott. People that overtake Sloane Frost. That is an incredible performance. So great to watch out there. Man, burnt that overtaking manoeuvre. And just how good. I tell you what, he's a positive thinking man. Very quietly spoken. Doesn't kick up a fuss. Nice to have Super Dad George back with us here at this event. And of course, supported by great people like Charlie Vandermeer and Glenn Williams. So he's got some nice mentoring and great working roles there behind him as well. So great to watch out. Scott Moyer in front ahead of Sloane Frost from John Ross, Tony Rees, Al Hugenboosum and Spider Staples. Al Hugenboosum will start to feel more comfortable. This is a kind of track and the confidence booster he needed today.
Yeah, definitely. The Hondas have been struggling all season. They just seem to be having problems, and you don't wish that bad luck on anybody. It's great to see the Honda team represented here, and great to see 2 young riders there with Alistair Hugenboosum and James Smith out there in action, and certainly climbing up through the points. But Scotty Moyer won a race last weekend and got pipped there for 2nd place by Andrew Stroud, but on fire at the moment. He opens up the lead. We had 0.341 of a second between him and the TSS Red Baron Fujitsu sponsored GSXR 1000 Sloane Frost. It's about 3.52, so nothing in it. About maybe a bike length that Scotty Moyer's gained, but certainly some action. We see Toby Summers on the Mad Love Media Super Sport 1000 there, going up on the inside. I think that must be James Smith who's dived up on the inside, and Toby Summers has won here before in the 600cc class. Selected to go to the Super Stock 1000 and is proudly supported by Barnes Jenkins Insurance and, as mentioned, Mad Love Media.
Well, that group of 4 out at the front end, they've made a bit of a break. We've got a nice leading group of 4, maybe covering about 2.5 seconds. Then we get to a group of 3, then back further into the field. So leading bike there is still Scott Moyer, followed by, is that Sloane Frost still in 2nd place?
Sloane's is a hard bike to pick up sometimes because it's blue on one side and it's red on the other side. Got TSS Red Baron right across the whole machine there, so you know that from both sides. And we see Stu from TSS Red Baron flew down this weekend to support his 3 riders, Rogan Chandler and Dean Bentley in the 650 Pro Twins, and of course the current points leader, Sloane Frost. There they go through there. We've got 4 riders in the 103s. We've got a 103.507 for Scotty Moyer, 103.642 for Sloane Frost, so he's making a bit of a gap. John Ross is closing in on Sloane. He's got a 103.462 and 103.6 for Tony Rees, who qualified 2nd there. They spread out down the back straight, but look, I think Sloane Frost might be reeling in Scotty Moyer there in Andrew Templeton. Ian.
Yeah, I think Sloane has pulled back maybe a couple of tenths on that lap, and I think that was a bit of contact between Andrew Stroud and Jake Lewis off the end of the straight there.
Well, I didn't see that, but we were just getting a report from Kirsten Sudbury, the Mad Love media lady, saying that Andrew Stroud has gone through on Drake Lewis. So we were looking at something else at the time, but they come out of the hairpin here, and it is Scotty Moir. Scotty Moir, I'll tell you who's closing in the third place is John Ross is hunting down that Suzuki of Sloane Frost as well. And don't put Tony Rees out in the picture. He's about 12 bike lengths behind the third place rider, maybe 15 bike lengths to go over the start-finish line. Put 350 of a second between them. And the quickest man on the track at the moment is John E. Ross.
So look back through the field, a bit deeper into the field. There goes Dan Ormsby crossing the line. Now Dan's riding a super stock Yamaha R1, the new R1N. It's a fantastic bike and it's running really, really strong. That bike's running pretty much, oh my goodness, what a massive, massive moment there for Toby Summers coming out onto the straight. Got a bit of a wheel stand, a big slide. The bike was totally sideways. A man of great bravery though, kept the throttle open, stood it up and just kept it pinned.
It always amazes me how these guys do that sort of stuff, and then the next lap they show no fear, no repercussions. They maybe take a warning for it, but they show nothing and they just get on with it. That is the quality of our superbike field out here, and they're coming out in towards the bus stop. I'm expecting a change shortly between second and third place, but I know Sloane Frost ain't going to give up any points he can get, and he's going so well this season on the Suzuki Series. Had 3 superbike wins and a pole position at Ruapuna. I think he's over his years of about 9 years of racing superbikes, I think he's only ever managed about 3 wins, and a great credit to him to take 3 clean wins at Ruapuna. And that was all his own way last weekend, and certainly not at the moment, but he's not going to give up. We've got a long race ahead of us. We're on lap 6 of 15.
And Sloane's having a look up the inside. I think he's just measuring his braking at this stage and seeing what he's going to do, where he's going to do it. He looks to be quite comfortable just following along in second, despite the fact that John's closed up quite tight on him there for third place. I think Sloane's just measuring himself at this stage. He'll be running a nice consistent pace, looking after his tyres and just working out where he's going to pip Scotty.
Definitely there is. Tony Rees is closed up. I predicted this earlier on. He was dropped off the pace a little bit. He's closed up right there. A tight 4 out of the front. We've got Suzuki, and the Honda has closed in. It's all about tyre wear and how they manage that as well. Ian Templeton, what sort of tyre compounds are we running here at Levels?
Most of the guys are running the zeros or the very softs, but I think the track temperature today would probably lead itself better to a more medium compound. But of course the guys were running on such a hot surface yesterday. They've done all their setup for the softs. Today they didn't have the time to get out and do setup changes, and there's Sloane Frost through for first place. What a fantastic move.
Almost a move there by John Ross on the circuit asphalt's machine. He pulled up on the inside of Scotty Moir, thought he'd take him, but then tucked him behind as they went into the John Jones Steel corner, and absolutely sensational racing. A 15 lap here, Timaru Metal Recyclers supported class, and every meeting I've been to over the last 25 years has always been Timaru Metal Recyclers supporting something, whether it's classic racing, car racing, anything. He's a golden boy in the with his wallet and his entertainment, Johnny Hepburn, and it's great to have him at the track here today watching this superbike racing. Here we go. John Ross is closing up on Scotty Moir. Is Scotty getting tired? He has a former motocross, is a relatively strong guy, but and Tony Rees is in the picture as well. Tony Rees definitely going there. We go out to the 43 machine of Alistair Hugenboozem with Andrew Stroud right on his tail, and the young Canterbury teenager, actually he's probably a bit more than a teenager now, Jacob Lewis. He's about 20 now, so Jacob Lewis, the man that's been overseas racing all season in the European 600 class, and they've got to change the position along there. It is Scotty Moyer's got picked down to third place. Definitely John Ross pulled up beside him and has made it stick. They're going around the John Jones corner and he's opened up a bit of a gap, and Scotty Moir led for the first part of the race, but now he's under threat from Tony Rees as well on the Honda.
Absolutely, and Sloane Frost pulled himself a bit of a gap there. He looks like he might be 0.5 to 0.8 of a second heading away from the field. So looks like Sloane's trying to put down a really hard lap, break the field, and I think that's why John's decided he had to make the move at that point. He could see that Sloane was going to try and get away, so he decided that it was now or never, and made a good, safe, clean move there. But Sloane Frost out by 0.5.
I was just going to say all these lead bikes have dropped a second a lap, but as I say that, we've got both John Ross has put in a 103.779, 103.766, so 10,000ths of a second difference between first and second, with Sloane Frost just that little bit quicker. Here comes that Honda threat, pulling a big wheelie down that straight. There he goes. Honda just pulls past that Penny Holmes sponsored Suzuki 1000, and now it is number 11 in third place with Scotty Moyer being slipped down the field. Scotty fights back. Scotty tries round the outside in the John Jones corner, but no. Tony Reed's got here. Crashed here last year on that corner, didn't he? Or was that 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago, Spider, but he's riding really well today. Maybe his tyres, maybe he just hasn't quite got the setup today with the track temperature changed so much from yesterday. But I also just noticed that Andrew Stroud's made a pass and he's come through into 5th place. So that's good riding from Stroudy. So John Ross is putting down a really hard lap now. His last lap was less than 1/10 off the lap record.
We did see Sloane Frost in qualifying go under the lap record. That does not count. That does not count because it has to be in a race situation. And guys, not this season, but other seasons, they have been able to put qualifying tyres on and put in a blistering lap. These tyres generally only last for 3 or 4 laps. They've got to get out there, warm it up, have a blistering lap, and set a qualifying tyre. Good on NZ for removing that clause, because it just was an added expense. Some guys had 3 different compounded qualifying tyres over the last couple of seasons, and now what they've got to do is they go out in the Superbike qualifying. Towards the end of it, they put on a new tyre and just go out and set the fastest laps. Most of the guys only doing 3 or 4 laps on it, because these are the tyres they actually have to start the first Superbike race with, so they want to conserve those. They don't want to do 20 laps in qualifying and then have a wear out. Look at that. John Ross closes right up on there on Sloane Frost. The 2 Suzuki 1000s we saw 0.4 of a second, just under 0.4 of a second. They're coming into the bus stop at the moment. It is lap 10 of 15. We're 2/3 away through the race, and Tony Rees, what a massive move he's made too. Scotty Boy's got some sort of problem because he's dropped off the pace, but we've halved the lead. We've gone from 0.4 of a second to just under 0.3. Almost half. My maths ain't as good, you know, but that's one of my issues.
Absolutely, and they've actually pulled out a significant gap over 3rd place now. A good 2-second gap on Tony Reed. Tony will fight hard. He'll do his best to catch up. I can see that Scotty Moore is having some issues coming onto the straight and through the bus stop. So watch for Andrew Stroud and see if he can come through on Scott Moyer, and maybe he'll drag Alistair Hugenbosen through as well.
Definitely lap times wise, Andrew Stroud's 0.6 of a second quicker, and right now the gap is approximately 1 second, so we've got 4 laps to go. 4 laps to go after they go through the start finish line this time round. We are on lap 11, so 4 laps to go. The maths is getting a little bit better.
And good dicing for 1st and 2nd place as they come through the bus stop there. Sloane Frost absolutely cranked on his side. I'm sure that engine casing's dragging on the ripple strips as he comes through there.
Yeah, that was a blistering lap too, a 103.996. The only man still in the 103s was Sloane Frost, a 104.069 for John Ross. So hadn't dropped off the pace as much, just about 70,000ths of a second. The gap has opened up down the back straight. There's no chance for John Ross to slipstream in behind the Suzuki GSXR 1000, the Fujitsu Red Baron sponsored machine of Sloane Frost there. What a great season he's having, and he won the Suzuki Series, and there we go. Ian Temple to change of position, possibly for 5th.
Alistair Hugenbosen having a big look up the inside into John Jones' steel. He's not going to get it done this lap, but he's definitely made up his mind that he can pass Andrew, and he's going to try and put a real hard move on him. But at the same time, they're still closing down Scott Moyer, so both those guys can see a 4th place in front of them. They're working hard to get it. Maybe they should work together instead of battling each other.
A great ride there from Toby Summers too on the Superstock 1000, put it in the fastest lap of a 104.7. He's dropped off nearly in the 107s, a 106.697. So Toby Summers sits on the track in 8th place there on the 22 machine, but is first in the Superstock 1000. We've got Dan Hornsey. Dan Hornsey's on fire. He's actually quicker than Dylan Telford. Dylan Telford, a lot of experience in the last few seasons of New Zealand Superbike Championship, run Aprilia's a couple of seasons in a Kawasaki as well, but Dylan Telford there in 3rd in the Superstock class. Aaron Scott, James Smith has dropped off the pace, and Ray Clee out there having a bit of a lonely ride there on the 36 machine. Change of position maybe between Andrew Stroud and Alistair Hugenbosen. We watch him go into the John Jones corner. it? No, it is still in that order, still in the same order. The gap between first and second on the last lap was just under 0.4 of a second. Sloane Frost has got a bit of a break on. No, look at that. John Ross round the outside, tries round the outside of the hairpin. I've said it before, he just makes the track a little bit longer, but that's where he's trying to get the drive out of the corner. It was 0.4 of a second. There's not even 0.1 of it now. They are going to come across the lap rider shortly. It might be Aaron Scott, but the white flag is out. This is the final lap of the Superbike race, the first win for the weekend here at Levels. We had a cancellation of yesterday's racing due to a practice accident there, and just 2 races today. They go into the lead bikes, go into the Capital corner, half a bike length and a half a bike length. Ross wants his victory. Ross is capable of victory. We know Sloane Frost has done it, but certainly the last lap, 0.1 of a second quicker. John Ross was a 104.206, a 104.335 into the John Jones score, and it still is the same position. 3 bike lengths. They disappear out of sight a little bit, and Ross closes up a bit. They're gone from our view there. There is Andrew Stroud still ahead of Alistair Hugenbosom there as they pass a back marker with safety going into the John Jones steel quarter, and Andrew Stroud just cranks that throttle open a little bit more, but Alistair Hugenbosom got plenty of miles out here. Round the hairpin there, John Ross tries round the outside. It is still Sloane Frost. We've got about 3 corners left. We see very rare passes through there, but it is still possible. Sloane Frost, I think he's going to take another win here in Templeton.
I think so. It'll be a really brave move to try and get through from Sloane on there. So that's a fantastic win for Sloane Frost, with John Ross coming through in 2nd place, and Tony Rees, brilliant ride from Tony coming through in 3rd. Fantastic effort from him. And here we come for 4th and 5th, and it's Andrew Stroud by a couple of bike lengths from Al Hugenbosom, and Scott Moyer close behind.
Scotty Moyer first to 7th. Tough race for Scotty Moyer. Got out there and led, and then seemed to be picked off more. The other guys got faster than him, but somewhere during the line he had some sort of mechanical problems, and Scotty Moyer got put back there into 6th place. And points wise, we'll have to give you an update, but right now